In our existence, the human brain stands out as something intricate, full of winding paths and uncharted horizons. Within this complex web of neurons and feelings, invisible boundaries are constructed, like curtains that dim our sight, preventing us from observing the grandeur of reality in all its diversity. What we perceive around us is just the peak of the iceberg, a tiny fragment of the vast sea of experiences that life presents. But how do you grasp reality when your view is obscured by these invisible boundaries? How do you approach the task of deciphering the mysteries of existence when the intricacy of your own brain sometimes seems impossible to navigate? In this riddle of thought, we understand that what we observe and grasp is only a slice of what truly makes up our existence. The challenge of glimpsing beyond these invisible boundaries greatly influences our view of reality. It's as if we were confined to a dim room, with just a strip of light illuminating our view. As a result, our interpretation of the world becomes narrowed, cut down to mere silhouettes of its fullness. The brain sometimes plays tricks on us, leading us to trust in illusions that mold our decisions and affect our pathways. This restricted understanding of reality affects how we connect with the world and with each other. Misinterpretations, disputes, and issues arise because we read reality through a skewed perception. But what really constitutes the essence of reality? Is it only what our eyes observe and our hands feel? Confronted with these inquiries, a peculiar viewpoint emerges, a glance that goes beyond what our physical eyes can detect, something that some refer to as spiritual insight. But don't worry, we're not discussing complex philosophies or ornate rituals. It's more akin to fine-tuning the dial on a radio to grab a clearer signal. It's about tuning into something larger, something that surpasses the boundaries of the palpable. Spiritual insight is like an inbuilt compass that directs us beyond appearances. It's the acknowledgement that we are more than our physical bodies, that our being extends beyond the confines of what is palpable. So today, I invite you all to set forth on an expedition to transcend these perceived confines, to strive to fathom not only what is before us, but also what dwells beneath the surface. After all, have you ever pondered how to observe the unseen? I believe it is in this comprehension that we discover the keys to unlocking the genuine essence of reality. On this voyage, we encounter the duality that permeates our perspective of the world. As I mentioned before, the brain creates invisible boundaries like curtains that dim our sight. In this regard, it's as though we were equipped with two filters, one shaped by worldly sight and the other colored by the broader hues of spiritual sight. Although these viewpoints exist together, they lend distinct tones to our understanding of reality. The worldly viewpoint, anchored in the necessities of the present and urgent needs, concentrates on physical happenings taking place now. This perspective is invaluable for managing daily adversities, but it's confined to the palpable, to what we can sense and measure in this moment. Spiritual sight, however, widens our horizons. It's as if by shutting our eyes to the outer world, we can open a pane onto the wider dimensions of being, surpassing temporal and tangible limits. Meditation is a crucial method in this journey of insight. By entering the hushed expanse of meditation, we can leave behind the worldly focus and embrace the spiritual viewpoint. Spiritual comprehension, rooted in the sense of our core beyond the tangible, becomes a filter that unlocks the mysteries of time and space. Meditation is akin to venturing into ourselves. By closing our eyes and quieting our mind, we start to reveal deep strata of our essence. Here, beneath the surface, not merely superficial notions, but the very source of who we are, unveils itself. With our vision heightened in meditation, we can access a wider reality. It's as though the confines of our conventional comprehension spread out. This routine aids in grasping more about our being. This is more than just a way to relax. It is a voyage unveiling often overlooked or disregarded slices of our own chronicle. In the tranquility of meditation, we meet a wisdom that oversteps the intellect. It is a silent cognition, an awareness that arises when the brain becomes motionless. Instead of words, a deeper recognition surfaces, one that is relayed through stillness and instinct. But I'd like you to understand that it's not about opting between the worldly and the spiritual lens, but appreciating that both exist alongside. The spiritual facet, by expanding our sight, provides a more holistic grasp of time and space. We see that time, rather than being a linear string of events, takes on complex dimensions in the spiritual view. The past, present, and future aren't isolated fragments, but segments of a cosmic sequence unfolding as we evolve in perception. As we overcome viewed boundaries, we make room for a fuller comprehension of life, a trip that beckons us to sense the wake of belonging to something bigger, which the worldly lens often causes us to overlook. We are swayed by the commotion of everyday existence, and therefore act on the spur of the moment, simply because we mistake impetuous desires for authentic ones. Impulsive wishes can be like uneven currents, carrying us toward uncertain destinies. In contrast, heartfelt desires anchor us like beacons, guiding us through stormy waters. Our true longings, those originating in the soul's deep recesses, instill our paths with direction and significance. They are like steady flows carving out our voyage. That's why comprehending the essence of each yearning is pivotal. Some hold substance and longevity, while others are fleeting trivialities. The most meaningful wishes are those that resonate deeply with you, pushing you from within and guiding your deeds. This odyssey calls for a deeper union between our cravings and sincere intents. It goes beyond merely listing our wants to aligning them with our innermost radiance, which is always led by noble intents. Desires paired with earnest intentions go beyond the personal, aiming to benefit the collective. It's about having an aspiration that aids not just ourselves, but enhances the world at large. Moreover, this is what infuses our existence with greater substance. In a world usually swayed by the basic senses, a realm exists beyond what our sight detects and our touch discerns. In this trip of awakening, there are exercises that steer us toward a more profound and boundless insight. Take visualization for one. It's a straightforward yet potent practice. As we hone this craft, we perceive not just the visual, but the feel, and even the sounds of the setting we envision. This expansion of visualization transcends the restraints of the bodily senses, providing a peek into the vast spectrum of our insight. And when it comes to visualization, we instantly consider a very effective instrument, imagination, which can remodel our perception and encounter with reality. Imagination acts as a catalyst of change, functioning as the origin of all we achieve. When fed by belief, this root grows into a tree, yielding the events of our lives as its fruit. The confidence in what's possible is what empowers imagination to thrive and impacts our view of reality. Imagination is not narrowed to our ambitions. It also discerns beauty in the banal, allowing us to behold the splendor present in even the smallest of things. And when discussing visualization and imagination, we must consider a fundamental yet crucial component for the success of these practices: concentration. Concentration is like the glow of a candle. When focused, it clarifies previously obscured areas. The stronger our concentration, the keener our brains become, enhancing our perception. Concentration sharpens the brain, enabling us to steer our thinking with precision. Meanwhile, visualization enlivens the brain, depicting our aspirations. So take a moment to close your eyes and center your thoughts. Feel your surroundings, the subtle shades of vitality, the warmth or chill in the calm. Listen not only to the clear sounds, but also to those lurking in silence. The essence of these practices is in routine. Like a muscle, when exercised consistently, it fortifies. By incorporating these habits into our day-to-day lives, we gradually refine our perception, broadening our internal horizons. Throughout this voyage, our emotions are integral. They spur the vigor behind our thoughts and actions. When our notions align with affirmative emotions, and we genuinely anticipate the fruition of our wishes, the seeds sown in our creativity bloom, turning into real-life expressions. Imagination is our starting point. Visualization gives form. Concentration adds finesse, and faith serves as the cohesive force that binds all together. Applied concurrently, these tools mold our thoughts into deeds, and finally, into solid accomplishments. The straightforward nature of the practices we've talked about reveals an incredible strength that we all have. Perseverance is the mechanism that morphs our path into one of transformation. Altering thought patterns is not a singular day outing, but a pathway of ongoing revelation. It is through steadfastness that we surpass hurdles and persist toward our envisioned future. For it is in the sharpness of our contemplation and the unspoiled quality of our conviction that we muster the power to mold our destiny. As I noted at the outset, our physical comprehension often underestimates the full mystical span that enwraps us. The exercises outlined here serve as a conduit between these realms, enhancing our perception beyond the plane. They function like segments of a grander picture, fusing the mundane with the divine. This allows us a deeper grasp of truth. Through these practices, our spiritual insight expands, enabling us to note subtle aspects we once missed. The partitions between the tangible and the mystical begin to disintegrate, unveiling a more abundant and multifaceted reality. And this aids immensely in our traverse of life. For instance, we begin to decode occurrences not merely for their facade, but for the inherent significance they possess. Therefore, permit yourself to see past the surface. Nurture internal lucidity to gaze at the splendor hidden within the minutiae, and harmonize with the spiritual vastness that saturates every second. The genuine enchantment of existence is in transcending common visions and welcoming spiritual insight where the mundane turns extraordinary. Thank you for joining this excursion with me. If this message resonated, I invite you to like and subscribe to our channel. Disseminate this video so others may gain from this wisdom. And don't forget to comment your insights, musings, and experiences below. Thank you once again for tuning in and accompanying me. Take care, and I'll see you soon.